Ever wondered how the choices you make at the ballot box may impact your wallet, specifically in terms of interest rates and housing prices? Let's dive into the fascinating correlation between presidential elections and interest rates. Each administration, from the earliest presidencies to the present, has had its own economic policy, which in turn influences interest rates. For instance, some administrations have leaned towards lower interest rates to stimulate economic growth, while others have maintained higher rates to keep inflation in check. But it's not just the policies themselves that affect interest rates. The economy can also be rocked by political uncertainty. When there's uncertainty about what policies the next president will implement, lenders become cautious. They might hike interest rates to protect themselves against potential risks. So presidential elections do play a vital role in shaping economic policies and hence interest rates. But what about the housing market? Does it follow a similar pattern? Now, let's shift our focus to the housing market. Does the election of a new president cause ripples in this sector too? The answer is a resounding yes. From the earliest presidencies to the current one, the housing market has always been influenced by presidential elections. Take, for example, the presidency of George W. Bush. During his term, the housing bubble burst, leading to a significant downturn in the housing market. This was largely due to changes in economic policies, specifically those related to lending practices. On the other hand, the Obama administration introduced regulations to stabilize the housing market, and we witnessed a slow but steady recovery. The Trump era, with its tax reforms, also had its impact, triggering fluctuations in housing prices across various states. So, you see, the housing market is no stranger to the effects of presidential elections. Policy changes, economic strategies, and political ideologies of the elected presidents all play a role in shaping the housing market's landscape. Indeed, just like interest rates, the housing market also tends to respond to the outcomes of presidential elections. So, what does all this mean for you, especially if you're considering buying a home? In summary, it's pivotal to understand that presidential elections can indeed sway interest rates and the housing market. We've seen this impact in past years under both Democrat and Republican presidencies. However, it's crucial to remember that these are not the only variables in play. A myriad of factors can influence these economic indicators. These may include global events, national policies, market trends, and even unforeseen events, such as a pandemic. So when you're contemplating about diving into the real estate market, these are the elements you need to take into account. An informed decision is a wise decision. So, gather as much information as you can, understand the trends, and consider the potential implications of the upcoming presidential election. So, while the presidential election can have an impact on interest rates and the housing market, it's just one piece of a larger puzzle. Stay informed, stay aware, and make the best decision for your financial future.